to radically oust a president, stage a coup, essentially. So you realize then at that point, and by the way, just to slow this down, I know people that watch this already know about Operation Mockingbird, but it is really one of the most crucial ones to understanding the mainstream media web. The CIA puts this into place and quite literally just puts journalists on the CIA payroll to be able to control the information that's getting out to the public after JFK gets shot. They're worried about what's going to happen. The public is asking too many questions, so they just want journalists to all say the exact same thing. And we still see this today. There was no discontinuation of Project Mockingbird. So you make the mistake of going, there must be a noble media member at the Washington Post.
That was all in the past. It doesn't continue today. Well,
and what year is this, by the way?
What's that?
What year is this that you're dealing with?
Let's see, that would be 2012.
Okay.
And then that's when I wrote From the Company Shadows. So yeah, and then I started experiencing firsthand other major publishers, when I wrote From the Company of Shadows, no, we can't touch that. We don't want to make the CIA mad. And the CIA had threatened a lot of journalists and a lot of publishers, don't touch anything against the CIA. So they were all terrified. And plus, the editors of the Washington Post is one of the founders of Mockingbird.
Philip and Catherine Grant. New York Times.
What's that?
One of the highest paid.
New York Times, yes. Time Magazine. They had more than 400 reporters and news anchors on CIA payroll when Operation Mockingbird started. And now they operate two ways. A journalist with any major news media or news periodical knows that if they do a real investigative piece on the CIA, they're done. I mean, their editors tell them that many editors have a quid pro quo with the CIA not to report negatively on the CIA. And there's some major news organizations that people watch that have that relationship. And so if they say anything negative about the CIA will stop feeding them stories so that they can get the first scoop and cut them off. And that's going on right now with several well-known news organizations. And I mentioned the one with the CIA lapel pin. So clearly going on. Then this last administration, thank God, which is out the back door, started what's called the Trusted News Initiative, where the CIA signed an agreement, or the Associated Press, the Washington Post, of course, and all four social media companies in the Trusted News Initiative signed an agreement with the DNI and the CIA not to censor certain pieces of information on all social media and in their reporting. Literally signed an agreement not to do that. Now, when you sign a CIA agreement, especially if there's money involved, they'll put you under a non-disclosure agreement with a threat of prison if you talk about anything you're not supposed to talk about. And that's how the CIA controls journalists. That's why there are no whistleblowers until recently, because of the NDA. You come out and you talk about this, you're going to prison. You sign a secrecy agreement as an officer, never to put anything out without the CIA approving it, which means they'll redact or black out the entire thing, which they did in my first book, and sit on it for a year or two. That's what they do every single time. And some of that's in the book. It's
really compelling to consider that you did what you thought was an act of service, trying to rescue the lives of other CIA servicemen. Report this, hey, this must be by accident that we have this exposure to them, that people can access their information via visa application, whatever it is. And this resulted in you being poisoned. Like they were just going to poison you and your family because how dare you? And it was a direct order. Of course, my mind is instantly running. Why would they not want to deal with that? Of course, if they realize that CIA servicemen can be killed. And then, of course, my mind then instantly goes to, because they kind of wanted them to get killed so they could, declare an act of war against whatever target it is. They killed somebody in the CIA, and, this is their favorite, a remarkable intelligence failure. They were somehow able to access the information by accident. We had no idea.
Exactly.
But in reality, they wanted these people to be harmed.
Why would they not take care of something that clearly put their agents' lives at risk? Why would they leave it there to the point of covering it up, threatening me, and then taking the report off the CIA server, unless they wanted that vulnerability there to use if there was a chief of station who wasn't playing by the book, or they wanted to plausible denial for some operation that went bad to blame how it happened. And that's the only logical conclusion.
I just think false flags. It's like somebody gets hurt and then you say, you had no idea how this happened, and now we have to retaliate because our guys are getting killed, or somebody high up got killed, and of course we're going to defend, the homeland. And this is something that people are asking all the time, like, how many false flag attacks have there been?